welcome to our summer product update. My name is Prerna Singh. I'm the VP of Product here at Meetup. And today I'm joined by a very special guest. I'm joined by Johnson Tang, who also goes by JT. And he's a product lead on the product team. So we're really excited to take you through some really exciting updates from our team and talk to you all about what we've been up to for the last couple of months. So without further ado, a few ground rules, though, before we do get into the bulk of our presentation. First of all, your video is off, ours is on, so you can see us as we talk. Same thing goes for audio. Your audio is muted during the course of this event. If you have questions, please submit them through the Q&A feature in the chat. That's what we're going to be monitoring, Q&A feature in Zoom. That's what we're going to be monitoring and we'll be using to answer your questions at the end of this presentation. And if you need closed captioning, that is available. To turn it on, just use that live transcription feature available on Zoom at the bottom of your screen and select your preference. So just a quick look at what we'll be covering today. We already did intro, so I won't take too much more time there. I'll be taking you all through some really exciting updates from our team of things that we've launched. And then JT will actually be doing a deep dive into our new organizer app that we launched a couple months ago, what you can expect from it, and where we're headed with that app. So lots of exciting updates. And then, of course, we want to save time at the end to answer any of your questions. And like I said, we've had several big launches in the last couple of weeks. You can see a few of them there, and we'll go through each of them. Let's get into it. So I want to kick us off by talking about event chat. If you've attended any of our past product update sessions, we've spoken about how excited we've been to roll out this new feature. One of the key themes that we've consistently heard from organizers, some of you actually have been on the call, some of you who've given us feedback are on the call today, has been around the need for more robust real-time communication tools that allow you to communicate with your members before, during, and after an event seamlessly. So enter event chat. Event chat is a feature that we just started rolling out to a small group of organizers that appears after a new event has been created. You can see in the screenshot on the left on the screen that event chat shows up and becomes activated on the event page when a member RSVPs to an event. When they tap on it, it opens up a chat interface. You can see on the screenshot on your right a real example of a chat from a hiking group, and that's it's in our web UI. Some chat features that I want to call out that are very exciting. There's timestamps, so it's clear when your message got delivered. We also have the ability to have responses or threaded replies, so you can easily follow and respond to questions. Very similar to other chat interfaces that you might be more familiar with. And we also have reactions, which are super helpful to acknowledge messages in a more passive way, or I've even seen people use it as a way to pull people in the chat. Chats are open even after the event is over, so folks can continue to communicate with each other, exchange information, and maybe even plan for the next event. Some other features that we're hoping to roll out in the near future is the ability to see who's read or viewed a message, which builds extra confidence, especially when you're an organizer and you want to make sure that your message has been seen by attendees. In addition to possibly seeing who's online and providing other key information within the context of the chat itself, like who's a first-time attendee, so you might be able to greet them personally. So lots of really exciting updates to come. So you might be wondering, okay, well, how might I get my hands actually on this event chat? So fear not. As an extra special thank you and an incentive for attending today's product update, we're opening up our beta to any organizer who wants event chat for all of their groups. If you have your phone handy, please scan that QR code that you see on your screen. I'll pause for a couple seconds here. We'll also paste the link in the chat as well. And it'll take you to a Google form where you can submit your information. Over the course of the next couple of weeks, we'll be enrolling people off of this form, so stay tuned for that. But if you want event chat beta, this is your chance to get it. And I think Emily dropped the link in chat, so I'm going to move on. But feel free to use that link and sign up. Next up, another feature we've previewed before, but really excited to share this as well, that we've launched the ability to set up group fundraising and help organizers receive donations from your groups across both web and apps. And as of, I think, later this afternoon, we're going to be making it available to all US-based organizers who started their subscription before April 29th. It'll be available to all new organizers pretty soon, but we're just starting with some organizers who've been on the platform for a while. For those of you who've been an organizer for quite some time on Meetup, this is a pretty similar functionality to a past feature we had called contributions. But how this works is organizers can enable group fundraising for any of their groups to raise funds via member contributed donations. All donations are absolutely optional, and the collected funds can be used however the organizer wants. Maybe it's to offset the cost of the Meetup subscription, or to maybe offset costs of hosting the event itself. We're working with a third-party platform here called Pledge, which actually facilitates the payment processing and the distribution of funds. So to activate, you'll see a prompt when you log in, either on your main or group homepage, and also in your group settings page. It's under the fundraising tab. And when you click on it, you can set your fundraising category and the goal amount. And once you've activated Pledge, your group members will see prompts on your group homepage to donate. Hosts can also choose in the event scheduler if they want to promote Pledge, if they want to promote the fundraising campaign on the event homepage itself as well. So we're giving some flexibility on how you want to have Pledge, this group fundraising prompt show up. What you see in front of you are some screenshots of the member donation experience on the apps. Members can choose to give any amount that they wish. And in addition, they can also leave a tip for the platforms that are supporting this service. We're going to be opening up, like I said, we're opening this feature up to new organizers very soon. We're also looking to see how we can expand this to international markets in the coming weeks and months ahead. But we've seen really great traction for some of the organizers that we gave early access to, and seen some really active giving with an average donation size of being like around $16. So check it out once it goes live. Again, that should be to most organizers in the US by the end of the day today. Next up, on both web and apps, we've enabled organizers to feature or pin an event to the top of their events list. We know that sometimes as an organizer, you want to drive special attention to a big event that might be coming up, but it might get lost in the shuffle of other upcoming events. So now with this feature, you can pin an event, any given event to the top of that list, and that's indicated by that purple featured events tag. I know we've spoken about Zoom before, but we also launched our Zoom integration, I think about a month or two ago. So we have a Zoom integration now, which makes it easier to host online events. When you're hosting an online event, all you have to do is click on that Connect to Zoom button, log in with your Zoom credentials, and you'll see a Zoom button appear right within the event scheduler. And once you click on that, it'll populate all the details for your event, for your online event. So no more having to copy and paste what that Zoom link is into the event scheduler and the passwords and whatnot. It'll automatically set all of that up for you. We support both one-time as well as recurring events. So try it out next time you have an online event. Moving on to web releases, I forgot to mention all of those things are available both on the web and platforms, everything I just talked about. Now I'm going to go into specific things that we launched on web and apps. So moving on to just web-only releases, we've made it easier as a member to update your interests. And as you're searching for specific keywords, you can add them to your interests. And on the side, you can see we have like a list of related interests. So you could add those as well. Why this is important is it really helps us make better suggestions for events and groups. So as a member, if you're updating those things, we can suggest better events for you to attend. As an organizer, this is important because it helps members discover your events based on your group and event topics. So the more you're adding to your event topics, the richer that data is, and the better we can do matching and help you get discovered with when members are actually searching for those related interests. Next up, for organizers that are new to Meetup, we know it can be overwhelming at times to know where to start and how to set your new group up for success. So we've made it easy with an onboarding checklist of steps that will help you get your group and events set up and running in no time at all. You can find this when you log into Meetup, and you'll see this at the top of your homepage. There are also some quick links to helpful blogs, articles, videos, in case you need additional support, but we're really hoping that this gives a little bit more of a guided experience as you're just navigating Meetup for the first time. But we didn't forget about organizers who've been on Meetup for a while. We know sometimes it's you want to be able to do things really quickly, and we want to make it super easy for you to have quick access to the things that matter the most to you, like the groups you organize, or maybe it's your next upcoming event, or perhaps it's accessing a draft of an event that you started but didn't get a chance to finish. So we've added all of these quick links to your logged in homepage, and it should make it really easy to create an event on the go, or pick up whatever task you last left off at. And lastly, for web-only releases, we launched a new event template called Meet and Greet. Maybe you want to create a social hangout with members of your group, or maybe you want to get to know your new members better. This event template makes it super easy to create a pre-filled event template for an online event. All you have to do is just adjust the date and time. And we really hope that this will help you get to know your members better without having sort of the friction of having to add all of the event details, create a cover image, because all of that is done for you. I don't want to forget our pro organizers. We've also been working on updating and improving the onboarding experience for them as well. As a pro organizer, you have access to several features that are exclusive to pro. So this onboarding experience helps you walk through what those features are and how you can start to take advantage of them through some helpful videos and articles. And then lastly, just wanted to cover an update that we had specifically for the mobile apps. We launched Event Search Map, which allows members to use this map view to find events near them or in areas of interest to them. You can see which ones you viewed, and as you pan through that map, you can see more details of the event that's highlighted in the little event card below. The list view is also just a quick tap away in case you want to sort of shuffle between the two views. But our hope is that this makes it visually easier to see where your events are geographically, and then make a decision whether or not you want to attend them. So really exciting to help just improve our search and discovery. And with that, I'm actually going to hand it off to JT to talk more about our organizer app and all the fun things that are coming along the way.
Thanks, Prerna. Hi, hope everyone is staying safe and hydrated. I'll now give us an update on the new organizer app that we released a couple of months ago. Next slide, please. So before I dive in case this is the first time you're hearing about the new organizer app, or you're thinking, JT, I'm already using the Meetup app to organize all of my events. I just want to give a update on, reminder on why we've decided to create a whole separate organizer app. So by designing, first we recognize the need of first we recognize that the needs of the Meetup members and the needs of the Meetup organizers are quite different, right? So before, we just had this one app that was really serving two masters, right? So we weren't truly able to easily give organizers the tools and the experience that you deserve and need to be successful. So by designing and rebuilding the organizer features from ground up, first, we're able to give you a more streamlined and stable experience. I don't know what's happening with all the icons. Also, we're able to introduce new features that are specific for mobile devices. And by having this separate app, we could also, there we go, we can fix issues and launch new features much more quickly, right? Without competing with the member features. So you see this separate app paradigm in many popular platforms like YouTube, Eventbrite, e-commerce platforms like Etsy and Amazon. Lots of hospitality platforms in market, they have separate apps, and this is truly why, so we can move faster. Also, bonus, this will allow us to streamline the member app to focus on getting members to join, RSVP, and show up to your events. Next slide, please. So everything I just said ultimately means that our goal is to give you a one-stop shop designed just for Meetup organizers and your leadership team that lets you manage your groups, events, attendees, and communicate with your members on the go. Next slide. Now, we intentionally didn't want to go off into a corner and spend 2 years researching and building this app and launching everything all at once, right? That was not our approach. Instead, we wanted to co-design this new app with our organizers, right? And launch features as fast as we could and get feedback from y'all on what's working, what's not working, so that we can continuously improve this along the way, right? So I think those of us who are Instagram users, right? Like they launched this big redesign and they just rolled it back. Now, if only they had just launched that in smaller pieces, right? They wouldn't have gone through that pain, right? So that's like a good example. So now with the organizer app, we first focused on launching the #1 most important features that organizers said they needed, which was to create and manage events. So that's what's available today in the organizer app. However, we know this is not nearly enough, right? Far, far, far from enough for organizers to be successful. So as you can see, we're working hard to launch these other features that organizers have told us are important. So there's attendee list, which is coming up soon. I'll actually talk about it in more detail in the upcoming slides. Making sure that organizers also get their notifications in the organizer app. Being able to check attendees in to an event. Again, I'll also deep dive into this feature in an upcoming slide. Event chat. So Prerna talked about this earlier. Right now, organizers can chat in real time with members on the desktop. We want to give that to you as well in the organizer app so that you can communicate in real time on the go. And also being able to manage the members in your group, right? All of these features, not all, but a lot of these features you already have in the current Meetup app. We're trying to get all of those into the new app as quickly as possible. Next slide. Okay, so let's dive deep into I just want to call out a few features. So searching your past events, right? So what is this? Well, if you have lots of event drafts and past events, now you can find them faster by searching. And what's great about this feature is you can quickly just find and copy old events to speed up your creating new events, right? Like I know for me, what's been hard is like filling in these really detailed group event descriptions, right? So by just looking for an old event, which has a very similar description and just copying that event, just one click, right? Boom, like actually I can just like go in and just edit the description much, much faster. So this feature is actually already live and launched, and we're already getting valuable feedback on how to improve the search. Next slide, please. All right, attendee list. So you see on the side, there's 2 screenshots. The left is currently what you see in the Meetup app, right? And on the right, you can see the upcoming new and improved experience in the organizer app. So very simply, again, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel here. We're just trying to make it better. You're able to see members and guests who are coming and not coming. We're adding sorting and filter to the attendee list, so you can easily manage this list much better. We'll also start to highlight members who are coming for the first time. We know that some of our best organizers out there they love to give our first members, new members, a little bit more TLC, either before they come to the meeting or when they show up to the event. So we're going to call out those first timers, and you can still continue to change the RSVPs, the payment status, as well as the guest list. And why we're excited about this feature is, one, it's just easier to use, right? As you can see, the right side is just so much easier to scan. And this is also faster, much faster than the experience on the left side. And again, this is just helping organizers not have to jump back and forth between the apps. This feature is launching later on this month. Next slide, please. All right, so event check-in. Yeah, what is it? It's basically an attendance taker, right? So you can easily mark who showed up or no showed. Right? You can also add guests or change the RSVPs last minute, as well as like late cancellations. And you're going to be able to do this anytime during the event or after the event. So we know that not all organizers take attendance. And so we're not forcing all organizers to take attendance. That's fine. Those of you who are already doing it on a spreadsheet or in a notepad somewhere different, now you can do it. Now soon you'll be able to do it in Organizer app. And you can choose to take attendance during the event or like after the event has happened, right, at your own leisure. And why we're excited about this feature is because, one, this is truly where we start to build a better engagement profile of your members, right? So we can help you understand who's active, who's not active, who are the bad actors, who keeps RSVPing and not showing up, right? That is not great. And this also will allow us to figure out how to build new features to help you manage these no-shows better in the future. So this is coming in September next month. Next slide. Yep, and if you haven't downloaded the app today, I encourage you to just scan this QR code and download it and give it a shot. Again, it's not perfect yet, it's not A+ yet, but what we want to do is get it to A+ by continual launch and get feedback.
Or should I stay on this? I'll stay on it for a few more seconds. Okay. Okay.
We see some raised hands and questions. Yeah, type in all your questions. We're gonna go through and answer questions at the end.
Cool. Do you want me to take it up from here, JT, or you got it?
If you can take it.
Yeah. Cool.
It.
All right. So just to wrap up, in the sort of final moments before we open it up to Q&A, as I've said this before, and I'll say it again, it takes a village to build what we're building, and is the culmination of a lot of effort from not just JT and I, but all of our teams that are working behind the scenes to bring you all of these things. So the way we build Meetup, JT kind of already alluded to it, but is very much driven from your feedback. If you're looking to get involved, we're always looking for more organizers and members to speak to. As you've seen with some of the things that we've been launching with event chat, with group fundraising, we've used the feedback we've gotten from some of these beta testers to really determine how we build it, what we build, and how we sort of proceed with future development. So you'll be the first to see new designs, provide direction on new concepts, and overall just be really critical to making our platform better. If you're interested in signing up for a session, please fill out that form. Again, we'll drop this link in the chat so you have it. And I want to thank so many of you who have continued to sign up and continue to give us some really valuable feedback. And I hope that you'll see the difference as you're experiencing some of these new features for yourself. We also have been working on making sure that we keep you all posted of all of the fun new features that we're releasing. You don't have to wait for one of these sessions just to hear about all the great things we're doing. We are posting all of our releases to our blog under the product release notes. So please definitely subscribe to the blog and check those out, bookmark it, and we update that fairly regularly every couple of weeks, just to show you all what we've been pushing out. Another big component of building Meetup is hiring great people to work here. So we are hiring for our team. I'm looking for a product manager to help with our data and personalization and search team. So if you are interested, know someone who's interested, please feel free to reach out to myself or to JT. We'll be happy to answer any questions. We also have many other roles open, so check out our careers page in case there's something that might pique your interest, and I'm happy to chat more. And we also have a new organizer Discord community that's run by our head of customer experience here at Meetup, Gwen, and a few other organizers who have really helped kind of mentor and shepherd organizers in this community and answer questions. So if you're looking for a place to meet fellow organizers, get advice from mentors, and hear about updates, we're also sharing a lot of new feature releases there as well. Please join this Discord community, and I'll leave the link up here as well. We'll drop it in the chat so you can join that community. Okay, I know I make a plug for this every time, but we have a great podcast for you to listen to. It's called Keep Connected, and it's hosted by our CEO, David Siegel. David covers lots of great topics, including sort of the power of community and building relationships, and he always has really great guests on to talk about sort of how we can continue to leverage not just Meetup, but human connections and drive things forward. So check it out. You can subscribe at that link shown there, or scan the QR code on your screen. And I'll also pause here if you want to do that. Okay, and that about wraps it up. I am going to stop screen sharing so that we can start to take a look at some of the questions that we're getting. Okay, let's see, lots of questions, which is amazing as always. Let's start from the top. Peter, you asked, how is event chat different from event comments, which have been there forever? Great question. So we're really seeing event chat as a replacement for event comments. So if you have event chat enabled, it actually will disable event comments. And the reason for this is that we really believe that event chat is, first of all, just a more intuitive UI than event comments. I think event comments ends up getting lost. It's hard sometimes, like you won't get notifications when somebody responds. And it's not really as visible as event chat, where all the conversations are kind of going on in the same place. So it's easy to kind of also be able to see what's going on. We also, like I said, we're adding a lot more functionality to make it more real time. Right now, when you like add an event comment, again, it's not as real time as kind of in this like sort of chat interface. So it's easier to get a response. It's easier to see who, like if someone saw the message. So we really believe that event chat itself is a much more improved experience and has way more sort of options and opportunity than event comments has. JT, you want to take the next one?
Yes. Let's see. So someone asked, will we be able to mark the payment of attendees' guests and types of payment? So yes, you will be able to mark, if it's a paid event, you'll be able to mark whether someone has paid or not paid. If they've paid already, it'll actually indicate that they've paid. If they haven't paid yet, they'll be marked as unpaid, so you can actually ask for payment at the event. Recording types of payment. Ooh, that's a good one. Not for first release, but this is a fabulous idea. So let me capture this as something we can add in the future.
Okay. Kimber asks, for contributions and donations, does your platform take a percentage like membership dues? The answer to that is there is a transaction fee. So not a platform fee, just a credit card transaction fee it's about 2.9%. So that's just standard payment processing fees, but everything else goes directly back to the organizer. And I did mention this, but members, so folks that are giving have the opportunity to give an additional tip back to the platform. So that goes back to Pledge and Meetup. So that is all optional and just a suggestion, and members can choose not to give that extra amount. But as far as taking a percentage, us taking a percentage directly, that's not the case.
Someone, Don, asked, can you create a list of members who have never attended any meetups? Oh, yeah, workers. Okay. This is a good idea. Right now, there is a feature where you can download the member lists on the web, but we don't really give you a status, right? And like, hey, how active were they? How inactive were they? But again, this is a great idea. I will capture this as a future improvement. And then Damien asks, if we are not an organizer yet, but are getting ready to set up events, can we still apply for the early launch phase? So Damien, if you're talking about the organizer app, you do have to actually have a subscription. So you won't even be able to log in. You can download the app, but if you try to sign up or sign in rather, you won't be able to. You do have to actually sign up as an organizer on the web. And then that will give you access into the organizer app where you can first create a group and then set up your events.
Okay. I'm seeing a bunch of questions on event chat and when it'll be available in Canada and internationally. Great question. It is something we are actively investigating right now. So I can't make any promises on an exact timeline, but we will get back to you all on when we can expect to be rolling out event chat to other locales. Same question for Pledge as well. Again, both things are under active investigation and how we can expand internationally. So stay tuned.
See, is the organizer app also available as a web page? I find the desktop site of the main site easier to get events set up. It would be nice to have the organizer only page available to do that as well. So the organizer app isn't meant to replace the web. The web is here to stay. We know that sometimes it's just easier to type on a keyboard rather than on your phone, right? So there are still many times, not many, but there are definitely times where it would still be easier to use a laptop, to use a keyboard, right? So that is not going away. So you can still create groups, set up events, manage your attendees, all of that good stuff on the web page itself. The organizer app, again, we're going to focus on making it easier on the go, right? Especially when the organizer is heading to the event, they're at the event, right after the event. Like, so a lot of the newer features will really focus on the mobile aspect of the organizer experience. But obviously we want to also make sure you're able to do everything else, the foundational stuff, like create a group, manage all your members, see what they're up to, etc.
JT, can I have you answer this next question, which is, how does Connect to Zoom work with existing recurring Zoom and meetups? Will it cause a change of URL after the old URL is transferred to members' calendars for the duration of the recurrence? Will we need to cancel the existing recurrence to establish a new URL?
Okay, so when you click on the button, right, the button that we added, what it does underneath the covers is it passes all the information about your event to Zoom, right? So let's say you're setting up an event for tomorrow noon with a title of some sort. What we do underneath the covers is we pass that information to Zoom. Zoom creates a URL for that meeting, gives it back to our platform, and that's what we put into the online Zoom link. Now, if you have a recurring event and you want to use the same URL each time, Zoom would also do that. However, we also know that some organizers, they have multiple Zoom links set up in their Zoom account, and they want to be able to choose a specific one, right? So they don't want to create a new random one. They want to actually choose from an existing Zoom link that they already have. That is something we are actually looking into right now, so that you can actually pick and choose existing Zoom links to just add into that field. So what we're trying to do is avoid you having to go to Zoom, find the link you want, copying and pasting it back into your site. We want you to be able to just do that quickly and seamlessly.
Okay. I have a question here as well. Event map be available in Canada? It is available in Canada. You just need to make sure it's available only on the apps for now. So just make sure that you have the latest version of the app downloaded. JT, I got another one for you. Jessica is asking for more information on meet and greet.
Jessica, would you elaborate on your question? What would you like to know? You just toss it in the Q&A. While she's typing, just so meet and greet template, any organizer can try this on the web. Right now, we're only testing it on the web. So when you go to create an event, right? So the button schedule takes you to the page where you fill in all your event details. On the right-hand side, there is a I think explore template or try template button. So when you click on that, what happens is it basically pre-populates the event creation with a title, with a description. We even like put in a event photo for you, just like a default one. You can obviously change anything. So the idea is like we want to just make it easy for you to just create a meet and greet event. We recommend that this is great for new groups, right? When people still don't know each other. So you just want something casual, low commitment, just get people to know each other so that they can actually, so that they're less scared to show up and meet a whole bunch of strangers, right? Like, so the idea is like, hey, set up an online event first and get people accustomed, get people to know each other. But it doesn't have to be new groups, right? Some of our superstar organizers, they're constantly holding several meet and greets for new members who come in, right? Because again, they're coming into this large group, they don't know anyone. This is an opportunity for organizers to create a casual environment for them to meet other members or talk to you, find out more about the group, find out what type of events to expect, etc. So it's available on the web. Any organizers can set up meet and greets. It is available now. Yes.
Okay. Peter asked, or is a statement, says, I think he used to have Zoomable map with the location of every group in the particular category that doesn't exist. It would be at least very useful or as useful as the map you have for events. Peter, that's a great future request and something that I'm definitely going to take back to the team. We've been seeing really high engagement with the maps for events. And I agree with you. I think it might make group discovery also easier as well. So thank you for that suggestion, and I'll make sure we take it back to our team. Okay. JT, I got another one for you if you're ready. David Johnson asked, how does the new org app work with Meetup Pro?
Yeah, good one. So short answer is right now it doesn't, but it will, right? Our pro organizers, they just have a lot more and they expect a lot more because they're paying a lot more, right? Let's call it what it is. So we want to make sure that first we have all the key features in, and then build on top of that. But we don't want, so we don't think that giving a pro organizer, right, a half-baked cookie, right? That's what it is right now. It's still kind of soft in the middle. is going to make you successful as a pro organizer. So first, we want to make sure that we're good on the foundational stuff, but pro is definitely on our roadmap.
And just to tack on to what JT said, I think there's several pro features that we are also looking at and making sure we can continue to optimize the web experience. And where it makes sense, we will add support for functionality. So there's a lot more to come, especially as we continue to enhance pro and make the overall pro experience better. I'm going to answer a question from Mike, who asks, as in many social media chats, things have a habit of going off topic, getting nasty at times. Will we be able to turn off chat for some events, mute certain members, delete inappropriate comments? Mike, the answer is yes. The privacy and trust and safety are incredibly important to us. It's actually the reason why it took us a little bit longer to release chat, is because we wanted to make sure we had some of those features available for organizers. So you do have the ability to block members, to report abuse in some of those cases. We're also looking at making sure that we'll have the ability for chat to be turned off for specific instances and in cases that you don't want chat. Maybe the event's too big and you don't want to manage that. So definitely a very top priority for us. And that's the reason why we're also being very methodical about how we roll it out and making sure that we have all the tools in place for both organizers as well as for us as a platform to make sure that it's a safe and healthy experience for all those involved. Okay, I think we have time for a couple more before we all gotta go and we don't hold you all up. JT, anything that you want to answer? Can an event org also use the new org app? From Derek. JT, you want to answer that?
Sorry, what was the question?
Can an event org also use the new org app?
Can an event organizer? Oh, these are the event hosts, if you're saying the event host.
Yeah.
Not yet. That is definitely something that's on the roadmap. Like I mentioned, this isn't just for organizers. We want to make this available for your leadership team, right? So which are the co-organizers, the assistant organizers, as well as the event host. So, but we know that you don't want to give them everything, right? So we need to figure out how to lock down certain things based on their role. But the intention is to make the organizer app available to all of your leadership team. I think Anonymous asks, I need some clarification, please. If I want to attend someone else's event, do I use the original Meetup app? Yes. Yes, that is exactly what you use that for, right? That is your member version of Meetup.
Okay. All right, we are at 3:45, so I want to make sure we respect everyone's time. Thank you all again for some really great questions, a lot of great engagement, and for always tuning in to what we have to share. And looking forward to the next time. Thanks all.